What's up? It's BlackCubing. This is a short video I'm making about this cube, this particular cube. So this cube is a Valk M, which I have made by myself, and it was a very fun project, and it's turned out really great. So as you can see, the turns align themselves after each turn. So the face aligns itself after each turn. And if I turn fast, you can see that there's a bit of a recoil, so the turn goes a bit ahead and then comes back because of the magnetic force. And I'll just show you the magnetic capability of this cube. So if I just take out an edge and a corner, then you can see that the edge and the corner stick together like this. So this force of attraction is not very strong, so you do not feel it a lot while turning, and it certainly does not slow your turns down, but it is helpful to add to the stability. And I will just show you the magnets that I have put inside the pieces. For reference, I have used N35 neodymium 4mm by 2mm magnets, and you can see right here that there is a magnet in each piece, one over here and one over here. And I used a gel super glue to hold them in place, and I can say that the cube has turned out absolutely great. So now I will explain in short how I made the magnetic cube. I used BlackCubing's tutorial on how to make a magnetic Valk 3, and that tutorial is absolutely great. You should go check it out. And so moving on to how I made it, first I disassembled the whole cube, and here I want to point out how I opened the corner pieces. So if you know, the corner pieces on a Valk are very delicate, as they have these tabs that hold the corner stock in place, and these tabs can break because they are really delicate. So instead of using your hands to pinch them together and open the piece, which can get a little clumsy and it can result in a breakage of the tabs, what you should do is that you should apply a considerable amount of force upwards on the corner stock piece, and at the same time you should take a screwdriver, preferably a flathead screwdriver, and slowly push one of the tabs in. You don't have to push it all the way, just wiggle it a bit in place, and then do that to all the tabs, and repeatedly keep doing that 2 or 3 times. And it happened for me the first time, but if your corner is tighter, then it might happen the second or third time, but the corner stock will free itself, and then you can just wiggle the corner stock around, and then it will come off. So this cube is quite good, and now I will explain what I did further. So after opening up all the pieces, I first glued the magnets into place in the edge pieces, and I used a helper magnet on the outside of the edge piece to hold the magnet into place. And I used a rule of 48 magnets, 24 for the edges and 24 for the corners. So there are 12 edges, and 2 magnets go in each edge, one in each part of the edge. So I placed the magnets in those pieces, and after I was done with those, I took one edge part and used it as the helper magnet to glue my corner pieces. So it was essentially like a template on which I based the uh, I based the position for the corner magnets. So one by one, I glued all the magnets in the corners, and then I just put the cube back together. And once I had done that, I turned it, and it turned out really well. So this cube is quite good, and you can feel the magnets when you are turning slowly like this. However, you do not feel them while you are turning fast, and you can see that the cube still turns as fast as it used to turn before. So I can perform all the PLLs and even the OLLs really fast on the cube, and even the M slices are great, and this cube is even good for OH. So um, now I just want to mention a few things, that the corner, like the plastic on the Valk 3 is quite thin, which is why I used a weaker grade, that is the N35 grade of magnets, as they are the weakest kind of magnets. So you could experiment with stronger magnets if you wanted, but that would result in a much stronger magnetic force, and N35s do the job pretty well for you. And one more thing I want to point out is that after you put the magnets into the cube, you should loosen it a bit, because the magnets hold the cube together a bit. So your preferred tensions, you might not get your preferred tensions with the magnets. However, keep in mind that loosening the cube will reduce the magnetic force. If you want a stronger clicky force while you are solving, you should tighten it up a bit, but not too much, or else it will compromise on the corner cutting. So coming to corner cutting, the magnets have not reduced the Valk's ability to corner cut at all. As you can see, it corner cuts excellently well, maybe even better than before, because of the additional stability that the magnets give it. And you would not feel a significant change in the turning of the cube, but it is definitely better, as it is much more stable and it does not lock up quite a bit. So if I perform some algorithms like, say, this lefty J perm, in which I lock up, usually I'm not locking up, as you can see. I can even perform a few G perms and I'm not even locking up in those. However, one thing I would want to mention is that the speed of the cube stays the absolute same. So if you prefer slower cubes, then you should put a bit of thick loop into the cube so as to make it slower, because the magnets usually do not affect the speed of the cube unless you use very strong magnets. So that brings us to the end of this video, and I would recommend everybody to make their own magnetic cubes, uh, as a store brought, like a magnetic cube brought from a cubing store will cost you around $50. However, if you make a magnetic cube yourself, it will cost you around $25. So even if you consider some extra costs, and if you round it off, still it comes to around half the price. So this cube itself is about $20. The cost of the magnets was about $3, which brings us to 23, and the super glue cost about $2. So the total is of $25, which is considerably cheaper, and it is also fun to make your magnetic cubes. So you should definitely consider making magnetic cubes on your own, and the magnets can be picked up from Ghost Boys or eBay or various other magnet sites. However, make sure that you always get the N35 magnets for cubes like the Valk, because at least I think that if you use stronger magnets, it will not result in a pleasant, or in as much as a pleasant feeling cube as this is. And that brings us to the end of the video, and I want to just mention one thing, which is that the putting magnets in your cube will not considerably drop your times. It will just make the cube pleasanter to turn on. So it also applies with different cubes. So like I can get the same exact times I get on a walk with an hour long, but the turning is more pleasant on the walk. So I feel like using the cube more. So I can do longer sessions. I can practice more. So thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions regarding the video or any questions on how to make a magnetic cube, please mention them down in the comments.